We clearly had a pipe that was very light and very strong, and we wanted a handling and delivery system that would take maximum advantage of the pipe's properties. What we didn't want to do was just to use a standard piece of offshore equipment which has been developed for heavyweight steel pipe and therefore not extract maximum advantage of the pipe that we have. We wanted a system that was very light with a small deck space, and that could then be mounted on a very wide range of vessels and also utilise the smaller vessels which we knew would have a much lower day rate. In today's market, everyone's looking to minimise their costs, but also minimise risk. What they want to do is to get back onto the subsea wells and make sure that they're flowing at the optimum flow rates. And to do that, they need to pump and acidize and stimulate. What they need is a system which allows them to do that as fast as possible, lowest price and lowest risk. And that's what the IDP and the Magma pipe allows them to do. Coiled tube has been used widely around the world for intervention and stimulation activities, to a large degree with success. But the problem is that it has a very sensitive fatigue issue, which needs to be managed continuously. And in addition, it's very heavy. And combined together in deep water makes it very challenging to use the product for extended periods for long-term pumping campaigns without the fear of cracking the pipe, leakage, and also potentially dropping the pipe on your subsea infrastructure. What the Magma M pipe allows you to do is to do very similar operations for much longer periods at lower risk of cracking, leakage and dropping of the pipe. So this simplifies the management of all these operations. So what we wanted to do was to employ a specialist engineering company to look at the deployment of the pipe into the water, how it's configured within the water column and how it responds to waves, vessel motions and currents. What we wanted to be sure of is that we had a robust system, and that means that the system can be used in a very wide range of operational conditions and environments. And what we found from the work that Risertech did was that we have a very robust system. Very importantly, it can be used in a very broad spectrum of operational envelopes. And this gives us flexibility in the way we deploy it and the way we operate it. And we know that operationally we have a very wide weather window, which allows us to continue working even when the weather starts to deteriorate. The IDP makes these operations much simpler. As the name says, IDP is an integrated deployment package. It combines all the elements that's needed to deploy our pipe quickly, efficiently and safely. The tensioner, the reeler, the reel drive, all the control systems are integrated into a single package. That means it can be lifted onto a vessel very quickly, it can be operated very easily and safely, and it means these offshore operations can be done much more quicker and efficiently than what would normally be done by using individual pieces of equipment. Magma spent a lot of time talking to our customers and trying to understand what our customers really wanted and really valued. And with that framework, we then started to speak to equipment manufacturers, and we very quickly developed a relationship with MDL. I spent a lot of time speaking with them and trying to understand what skills they had and what experience they had that we could bring to bear on this challenge. So myself and Derek Smith spent many hours scratching out ideas and concepts. And finally, maybe on version 5 or 6, we ended up with a drawing which looks pretty similar to the equipment that we have behind us. I think it was a real iterative process combining various people's experience of offshore operations, of pipe handling, until we got something that I think really will do the job very well, very efficiently. I think the IDP and the M-pipe system will make a difference because it's so simple in its operation. Instead of using individual pieces of equipment which we have to cobble together, we've integrated it all together. All the packages, the tensioners, the level wind, the reeler, the control are already designed for people to easily mobilize and easily operate. What that means is it's faster to operate, it's easier to mobilize, and the really big important thing I think is reduced risk. Reduced risk on board the vessel when it's being operated, and reduce risk to the subsea infrastructure. And I think this is the key thing that operators want. They can always do things cheaper by using smaller vessels, etc. But what they don't want to compromise is their safety and the reliability of the equipment. And really this addresses that by making sure we've engineered it extremely well to minimize risk. The IDP system matches the day rate of a dual coil tube unit. But with this system we get faster operation in terms of mobilization and deployment and retrieval, and also we're able to pump at twice the speed that you would do with a coil tube unit. And the reason for that higher speed is the diameter of our pipe and also the smooth bore made by the Victrex liner. This gives us the ability to deliver a lot of fluid in a much shorter period of time than you could do with coil tube. And then in addition you have the lower risk of fatigue failures.